It is a hot night, and you are still awake. The room has not cooled the way you hoped it would by now. The air sits heavy and still, pressing gently against your skin, and every part of you can feel it. That thickness in the room, that warmth that does not seem to move. You have turned the pillow over more than once, searching for the cool side, and each time it turns warm again beneath your cheek sooner than you would like. The sheets feel too close, the dark feels too near, and sleep, which should be the easiest thing in the world, will not come. Let me say this first, clearly and softly, so you can set it down. There is nothing wrong with you tonight. You are not failing at this. You are not doing sleep wrong. A body simply cannot fall asleep as easily when the room around it stays warm. And that is not weakness, and it is not a lack of trying. It is just the way a body is built. So whatever frustration has been gathering in you as the minutes stretched on, you can begin to let a little of it go. You are exactly where many people are tonight, lying in the same heat, in the same dark, waiting for the same relief. Maybe earlier tonight you found yourself reaching for your phone in the dark and typing something like "too hot to sleep," or "how to sleep in the heat," or "can't sleep heatwave," or "how to cool down a room at night." Maybe you have been lying here wondering how anyone is meant to rest when the air will not drop. If any of that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. You can stop searching now. You have found somewhere quiet to be. There is nothing more to look for. Just this voice and the slow unspooling of the night, and a long, gentle path down into cooler and cooler places, that I will walk with you, step by slow step, until sleep finds you on its own. So let yourself be here, in this bed, in this room, on this hot night, not fighting it, not yet fixing it, just here. And let me tell you a little about why the heat does this. Because understanding it, even a little, can loosen its grip on you. Your body falls asleep in part by cooling itself. As the evening deepens and sleep approaches, your core temperature, the warmth held deep in the center of you, naturally begins to drift downward, just slightly, just a degree or so, and that small internal cooling is one of the quiet signals that tells your brain it is time to let go. Sleep rides in on the back of that falling temperature. It always has. Every night of your life, whether you noticed it or not, you have cooled your way into sleep. And on a night like this, a warm room works against that gentle drop. When the air around you is nearly as warm as you are, your body has a harder time shedding its heat, a harder time letting that core temperature fall. So it lies there, holding more warmth than it wants to, and the sleep signal comes more slowly or more faintly. That is all that is happening. That is the whole of it. Not a flaw in you, just a body doing its best to cool down in air that will not help it. And once you understand that, you can begin to help it along, gently, in a few small ways, and then let the rest go. The blood in your body carries your heat. It runs warm from the deep center of you out toward the surface of your skin, and in a few places, it runs especially close to the surface, at the wrists, along the sides of the neck, at the ankles, behind the knees. These are the places where warmth can leave you most easily, and where a little coolness can travel inward most easily too. So some people find that a little cool water or a soft, damp cloth resting against those spots, the inside of a wrist, the side of the neck, the cool of it just laid there can help carry a thread of coolness back into the body. You do not have to rise and do it now. Only know that it is there, a small kindness you can offer yourself tonight or another night. The cool cloth at the pulse points, where the blood runs near the skin and quietly takes the coolness in. And there is a gentle trick that surprises people about the shower. It might seem on a night like this that an icy cold shower would be the answer. The colder the better, but the body is subtler than that. A cold shock can actually make the body clamp down and hold its heat in, closing the surface to protect the core. So the cold can, oddly, keep you warmer inside. A warm shower, pleasantly warm, not hot, tends to work better before bed. The warmth brings your blood up toward the surface of your skin, opens those small pathways, and then, as the water dries from you and the warmth radiates away, Your core is left to drift downward, cooler than before. Many people find that a warm shower an hour or so before lying down leaves them cooler in the end, not hotter. The body is strange and wise that way. And there is the air itself, the movement of it. In many homes, especially older ones built to hold their warmth through long winters, the day's heat gets trapped inside and lingers long after the sun has gone. But the night outside often cools before the room does. So once the outside air has grown cooler than the air indoors, opening windows on opposite sides of the home, letting a channel form, so the night can move through from one side to the other, can help the trapped heat find its way out. A slow current drawn through the dark rooms, carrying the day's warmth away with it. And through the day, the opposite, keeping the sun shut out, the curtains drawn against the bright hours, the warm air kept from pouring in, so the house holds a little of the night's coolness for as long as it can. You may already know these things. You may have already done what you can. Either way, it is enough. And one thin sheet, rather than nothing at all. It can feel when you are too warm, as though throwing off every cover would be the coolest thing. But a single light layer of cotton actually helps, because it lets your sweat do its slow, quiet work, lifting warmth from your skin as it dries, instead of simply rolling away wasted. So one thin sheet, light over you, breathing as you breathe, can help more than bare skin against the heat. Now I will be honest with you about one thing, because honesty is its own kind of comfort. The temperature a bedroom likes best for sleep is cooler than tonight allows, somewhere around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly 16 to 19 degrees Celsius. A cool, easy range that a warm night without air conditioning simply cannot reach. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. That number is out of reach tonight, and there is no use lying here measuring the distance to it. So here is what to do instead. The small things, if you want them, the cool cloth, the moving air, the thin sheet, and then more than any of that, letting go of the number entirely. Because here is the quiet truth at the center of all of it. A body that stops fighting the heat cools more easily than a body that lies rigid, straining against it. The struggle itself makes heat, the tension makes heat, and the surrender, the softening, lets it drain away. So more than anything you could do with cloth or window or water, the deepest cooling tonight comes from letting go. And gently, just once, so I can set it down and not trouble you with it again. If you are caring for someone elderly or someone unwell, or if the heat where you are has become truly extreme, the kind that feels dangerous, not just uncomfortable, please do check on them, and please do not hesitate to seek help, because heat stroke is a real thing and a real emergency, and it deserves real care. This is a calming companion for a restless warm night, a gentle offering of ordinary cooling comfort, and it is not medical advice. If your body is telling you something is truly wrong, listen to it. But if you are simply too warm to sleep, simply lying here in an ordinary hot night discomfort, wishing the room would cool, then you can let that worry go now too. You are all right, you are safe, and you can rest. So let it all soften now. The tips, the numbers, the trying, you do not need to hold any of it. I only wanted you to know that the heat is not your fault, and that your body knows how to cool itself, and that the surest way to help it is to stop straining and let yourself be led somewhere cool. Let your body grow heavy against the bed, not cooler yet perhaps, just heavier. Let the weight of you settle down through the mattress, down toward the floor, down toward the still, cool ground beneath the house that never feels the sun. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Let your jaw loosen. Let the space between your eyebrows go smooth and wide. There is nothing to hold together now, nothing to keep up. You can let your whole face soften, the way a face softens only in sleep. And your hands, wherever they rest, can open just a little, the fingers uncurling. And your breath, let it slow, not forced, not deep, just slow, and let each breath out be a little longer than the breath in. Because every time you breathe out, a little warmth leaves you. Feel that if you can, the air that comes out of you is warmer than the air that goes in. Your body is always quietly letting heat go on the exhale. a soft, steady draining of warmth into the dark room, breath after breath. You do not have to do anything to make it happen. It happens on its own. All you have to do is let each breath out be long and slow and unhurried, and imagine, as it leaves, that it carries a thread of the day's heat out of you and away, out into the room, up into the dark, gone. Breathe in, cool and quiet. Breathe out, long and warm, and let it go. And again, in and out, the heat leaving you a little at a time on every slow tide of breath. There is no rush now, nowhere to be. The night is long and it belongs to you, and there is nothing to do with it but drift. And as you breathe, let the warm room around you begin, very gently, to change. You do not have to force the picture. You only have to let it come the way a dream comes, softly at the edges first. Let the walls of this warm room grow thin. Let them soften and fade and drift apart, until the heat has somewhere to go, until the closeness opens out, into somewhere wide and cool and dark. Imagine, if you would like, that the air just above your skin is beginning to move, the faintest current, a coolness that was not there a moment ago, sliding in from somewhere far away, crossing the room, finding you in the dark. You cannot see it, but you can feel it, the small mercy of moving air on a still night, drifting over the backs of your hands, over your forehead, along your arms. A cool breath from somewhere the sun has never reached. And follow it if you like. Follow that thread of cool air back, out of this room, out of this warm house, out into the night and further, to where the air is coming from. Let it carry you, somewhere high and open and cold. Picture a mountainside, late at night, far from any town. The day's heat has long since lifted away up here, drawn up into a sky so wide and so clear that it seems to have no ceiling at all. The air is thin and clean and cool, genuinely cool, the kind of cool that touches the inside of your nose when you breathe it, the kind that feels almost like water going in. Breathe that in now, slowly, the cold, clean mountain air. And feel it travel down into your chest, cool and sweet, and cool you gently from the inside. There is a stream here. You can hear it before you can see it. A low, steady voice of water moving over stone, somewhere close in the dark. Snowmelt, it is, born high above from old snow that never fully leaves the peaks, running down cold and clear over a bed of smooth grey stones. And you are walking toward it without effort, the way you move in dreams. Your bare feet on cool earth, cool grass, the ground itself holding the coolness of the night. And you come to the edge of the stream, and you stand there in the dark, and you let the sound of it fill you. That endless, patient sound of cold water going over stone, over stone, over stone. And you step in. Just the feet at first. The water is cold, clean, bright mountain cold, and it closes around your ankles, and it is the most welcome thing you have felt all night. The heat that was in you, the heat that had gathered in your feet and your legs through the long, warm day. You can feel it meeting that cold water and dissolving, draining down and away, carried off downstream. The stones beneath your feet are smooth and cool and solid, worn round by years of this same cold water, and you can feel each one cool against the soles of your feet, steadying you. The cold moves up from your ankles, slow and gentle, a numbing, soothing cold. Nothing sharp about it, nothing unkind, just the deep relief of cool water on skin that has been too warm for too long. Your feet grow pleasantly cool, then cool and a little numb in the nicest way, the way they feel when all the heat has finally left them. And that coolness begins so slowly to travel upward, into your ankles, into your lower legs. A rising tide of cool moving up through you, as the warm current of your breath keeps flowing out into the dark. Stand here as long as you like. There is nowhere else to be. The stream does not hurry, and neither do you. The water moves over the stones and over your ankles, cold and clean and endless, and every second of it draws a little more of the day's heat out of you and sends it away downstream, where you will never have to feel it again. Above you, the sky is enormous and cold and scattered with stars, more stars than the warm city nights ever show. And the air comes down off the high snow with the smell of stone and cold water and clean nothing, and it moves over your skin, and it cools your face, and it slips into your slow breathing, in and out, in and out. And the sound of the water, that low, soft, tumbling sound, begins to fill the whole of your mind until there is very little room left in you for anything but the cold and the dark and the endless gentle voice of the stream. And when you are ready, and there is no hurry, none at all, you can step back from the water, up onto the cool bank, and the stones give way to a soft carpet of moss, cold and damp beneath your feet, holding the night the way moss always does. It is the deep green of shadow, this moss, thick and yielding, and it presses up cool between your toes, and it soothes the soles of your feet that the stream has already quieted. You could lie down here. You could lie down in this cool green softness and let the earth take the last of the warmth from your back, and the sky would keep its enormous cold vigil above you, and the stream would keep its endless voice, and nothing at all would be asked of you. But there is somewhere else, further along, and part of you already knows it, the way you sometimes know the next room of a dream before you enter it. A little way from the water, the ground begins to rise, and against the pale dark you can make out the shape of a hillside, and set into that hillside, half hidden by the long grass, there is an opening in the rock, an old doorway into the hill itself, low and cool and dark. The stone around it is grey and lichened and cold to the eye, and from the opening there comes a breath of air. You can feel it even from here, a slow, steady exhale of air that has been underground for a very long time. Cave air, cellar air, the kind of cold that has nothing to do with weather, the kind that simply sits in the deep places of the earth all year round, unbothered by summer, untouched by the long, warm day above. And you go toward it, drawn by that cool exhale, and as you come close the air thickens with coolness, and it moves over your face and your arms like something poured. You stoop a little at the low doorway, and you step inside, out of the vast starlit dark and into a smaller, closer dark, a rounded chamber of old stone, the walls curving up above you into shadow, the floor worn smooth and level by feet that passed through here long before you were born, and the temperature drops, gently, beautifully, the moment the hillside closes over you. The last of the outside warmth falls away, and you are held in a cool that is even and deep and completely still. The air in here does not move the way the night air moved. There is no wind in the heart of a hill. The air simply rests, cool and heavy and patient, filling every hollow of the stone, and now filling the space around you, cooling the backs of your hands, the nape of your neck, the warm hollow of your throat. You reach out in the dim and lay your palm flat against the wall, and the stone is cold, a smooth, ancient mineral cold, and it does not warm to your touch the way things warm in the daylight world. It takes your heat instead. It drinks it slowly, patiently, the way stone has always done, and your palm cools against it, and you leave your hand there and feel the cold of 100 years, 1,000 years, moving up into your fingers and your wrist, and easing everything it touches. People used to keep their food down in places like this, in the cool dark under the house, in the deep cellar cut into the rock, because nothing here ever grows warm. The heat of every summer that ever passed over this hill stayed up above, in the fields and the roofs and the bright air, and never once found its way down into this quiet, and you are down in it now. You are down in the oldest cool there is, the cool of the deep ground, and it wraps around you with no effort at all, and it asks for nothing, and it gives and gives. There is water here too, somewhere in the dark. You can hear it, not the bright tumble of the stream now, but something slower, the soft, spaced sound of single drops falling from the roof of the stone into a still pool below. Drip, and then a long, patient pause, and then drip, each drop landing in the dark, and sending its small ring out across water you cannot see. And each of those drops is cold, colder than the air, gathered from the roof of the hill, and the sound of them is so slow, so unhurried, so far apart, that your breathing begins to lengthen just to match it. A breath drawn in through the cool, a long breath let out into the cool, and somewhere a single drop falling. You can feel your heartbeat slowing here. In the still cold of the deep stone, with the drops falling one by one into their unseen pool, there is nothing to hurry the heart, nothing to press it, and so it eases, beat by beat, into something quieter. The warmth that the long day pressed into your chest, into the center of you, the deep heat that a hot night holds onto longest, down here it has begun at last to loosen, to let go. The cool of the stone is patient, and it draws the warmth outward from your core toward your skin, and from your skin into the still air, and from the air into the walls, and the walls take it away into the endless cold body of the hill, where it dissolves and is gone. And the center of you grows quieter and cooler and more still. Rest your hand against that stone a moment longer. Feel how the cold has crept now past your wrist and along your forearm, an easy, spreading coolness that carries no edge, only relief. And when you take your hand away, the palm stays cool, and you can lay that cool palm against your own cheek or the side of your own warm neck and feel the two temperatures meet and feel your face grow cooler for it. This is a thing you carry with you now, the cool of the deep stone, held in the skin of your hand. Deeper into the hill, the passage goes on, sloping gently down, and where it narrows, the walls draw closer, and the cold grows purer, and the last faint gray of the outside light gives out entirely, and there is only the dark, and the cool, and the slow, far drip of water. But you do not need to go deeper. You can stay just here, in this rounded chamber of old stone, where the air is even and cool and utterly still, and the earth holds you the way it has held its coolness through every summer that ever burned above it. Utterly untroubled, utterly at rest. And time moves differently in the deep places. There are no days down here, and no nights, and no heat waves, and no long warm evenings that will not end. There is only the steady cool, the same in the black of winter as in the height of August, the same 100 years ago as now. Whole seasons pass over the hill above and never reach you. The sun climbs and falls, and the fields bake and the roads shimmer, and none of it comes down to where you are. You are below all of it now. Below the heat, below the light, below the restless warm surface of the world, in the cool and the quiet and the dark, where nothing is asked and nothing burns. And slowly, without deciding to, you find yourself somewhere new again, for the dreaming mind moves without walking, and slips from one cool place to the next, the way water finds its level. The close dark of the hill opens and softens and gives way, and now there is a wideness around you and a cold that is different again. The vast, clean, ringing cold of high open snow. You are standing at the edge of a great snowfield under the moon. The change is enormous and gentle all at once, from the closed cool of the stone to this immense pale openness, this field of snow that stretches away further than the eye can follow, silver blue and faintly glowing beneath a moon so bright it throws soft shadows. The air out here is sharp and thin and absolutely clean, so cold and so pure that when you breathe it in it seems to sparkle in your chest, a fine crisp coldness with no smell at all, except the faint high scent of snow and distance and the deep cold sky. And it goes down into you, that air, and it cools you from the middle outward, and you feel it clear you, breath by breath. Everything here is quiet in a way that only snow can make. The snow lies deep and soft over everything, over every stone and every fold of the land, and its swallows sound the way nothing else does, so that the silence has a texture to it, a soft, padded, muffled hush, an enormous held stillness that reaches all the way to the pale line where the snowfield meets the stars. When you stand still and listen, you hear almost nothing at all, perhaps the faintest whisper of the cold air moving, perhaps the tiny settling tick of snow crystals easing against one another. And beneath that nothing, a silence so deep and so soft it feels like rest itself made into a place. And underfoot the snow is firm and cold, dry with cold, the kind of snow that squeaks very softly when it takes your weight and then holds you, and the coolness of it rises gently through you, and it is welcome, entirely welcome, a coolness you would have given anything for a few hours ago in the warm dark of your room. And here it is all around you, more than you could ever use, an endless field of it under an endless sky. You could scoop it up in both hands, this dry cold snow, and feel it powder cool between your fingers, and hold that coolness against your wrists where the blood runs close, and let it carry the cool inward, up the arm toward the heart. You could press a little of it to your forehead and feel the last warmth of the day lift away like mist. The moon lays a long pale road of light across the snow, and the surface of it glitters faintly where the light catches the crystals, thousands upon thousands of tiny cold points of light, like the whole field had been dusted with something finer than sugar. And the cold is not cruel here. It never is in this place. It is clean and bracing and kind, a cold you have chosen and that welcomes you, a cold that draws all the heat and all the heaviness and all the sticky discomfort of the hot night up and out of your body and releases it into the huge cold quiet of the sky, where it vanishes among the stars. With each slow breath, you give a little more of your warmth to the night, and the night takes it gladly, having room for all of it and more, and you grow lighter and cooler and easier and more still. Your breath turns to mist in front of you, soft pale clouds of it rising and thinning and vanishing into the dark. Watch it in your mind's eye without effort, the slow bloom of it as you breathe out, drifting up, dissolving, in, and the sharp, clean cold fills you, out, and a soft cloud of mist rises and is gone, in, and the cold air sparkles down into your chest, out, and the warmth leaves you pale and slow into the enormous night. There is nothing to do but this. Nothing to do but breathe the cold, clean air and let the warmth drift up and away, breath after breath, mist after mist, under the wide and patient moon. And far off across the snowfield, so far that it seems almost a part of the sky, there are mountains, great cold shapes of rock and ice, pale where the moon touches their high snow, deep blue in their folds and shadows. They have stood there through every summer the world has ever had, and their peaks have never once been warm, wrapped year upon year in old snow and older ice, so high and so cold that the heat of no season has ever reached them. And just to look at them, just to let your eye rest on those far cold peaks glowing softly under the moon, is to feel cooler. The mind knows what it sees. Show the mind a mountain sheathed in ice, and something in the body loosens and cools in answer, believing it, feeling it, growing still. The great silence holds you. The snow reaches away on every side, soft and deep and pale, muffling the world, and the cold sky arches over it scattered thick with stars, and the moon pours down its quiet silver light, and you stand in the middle of all of it, small and cool and unhurried, breathing slow clouds of mist into the dark. No heat can find you here. The hot room is somewhere very far away now, in another country, in another life almost, and it cannot reach across all this snow and all this silence and all this clean cold air to touch you. You have come too far into the cold for the heat to follow. And where the snowfield dips, a little way ahead, the ground gives way to something smoother and darker and stiller, a lake, frozen at its edges, open and black and mirror still at its center, holding the moon and the whole spill of stars on its cold, unmoving surface. The snow leads you gently down to its shore, and you stand at the very edge, where the pale snow meets the dark ice, and you look out across water so cold and so still it has become a second sky, a perfect dark glass with the stars laid across it. And the cold that comes up off that lake is a deep cold, a settled cold, the cold of deep water that the sun's warmth never reaches, held far below the still black surface where the light gives out. You can imagine that depth beneath the ice, how the water goes down and down, growing colder and darker and stiller the deeper it falls, layer beneath cold layer, until at the very bottom it lies in a cold that never changes, in a dark that has never known the sun, utterly at peace, utterly still. And there is something in that thought that is not frightening at all, but deeply, deeply calming. The idea of all that quiet, cold water resting in the dark, going nowhere, needing nothing, cool and heavy and serene beneath the frozen mirror of its surface. The night above may turn and the seasons may pass, but down there the cold simply is and holds and rests. And you can let yourself settle the way that deep water settles. Let the coolness you have gathered from the stream, from the deep stone of the hill, from the clean high snow, let it sink down through you now, slow and even, from the crown of your head down through your face, your throat, your shoulders, down through your chest where the deep warmth is finally letting go, down through your belly and your hips and your long tired legs, all the way down to your feet. A cool, heavy, settling calm, sinking through you layer by layer, the way the cold sinks through still water toward the deep. And where it settles, it stays. And where it stays, everything grows quiet and cool and still. The moon lies on the black water without a ripple. The snow holds its enormous hush. The far peaks glow faint and cold against the stars. And your breath goes slow and slower, soft clouds of it rising into the dark and thinning to nothing, and the cold air moves gently over your cooling skin, and there is nowhere you need to be, and nothing you need to do, and no heat anywhere that can reach you now. The edge of the lake curves away into the dark, ringed with pale snow, and the ice creaks now and then, very softly, far out across the still surface. A low, distant, sleepy sound, the patient old voice of the cold settling deeper into itself as the night deepens. And you listen to it the way you listen to the drip in the deep stone and the tumble of the stream, letting it come and letting it go. One soft, far sound in all that vast, cool quiet, asking nothing of you, only marking how deep the stillness has grown. And beyond the far shore of that lake, where the snow lifts again into a low white rise, there is a place in the side of the hill where the ice itself has opened. A cave worn into the base of an old glacier, its mouth low and round and blue, and you can let yourself drift toward it now, slow across the snow, following the faint blue glow that comes from somewhere deep inside the ice. The snow at the entrance is packed and firm and cold beneath you, and the air that breathes out of that opening is older still, a slow cold exhale from the heart of the ice, and you can go in, gently, into the blue. Inside, the walls are ice, but not the flat black ice of the lake. This is ice with light inside it, ice pressed and folded over uncounted years, until it turned the deep clean blue of the very bottom of the sky, and it curves all around you, smooth and glassy and faintly glowing, so that the cold seems to come not only from the air, but from the light itself. You can run your fingertips along the wall as you move deeper, and it is smooth as polished stone, and colder, a cold that presses gently up into your hand and travels slow along your arm. And where your palm rests for a moment, the ice is faintly wet, the thinnest film of melt, and then dry cold again as you lift away. The floor beneath you is ridged and firm, and the sound of your own slow breathing goes soft against these curving blue walls, softer and rounder than any sound in the open air, wrapped and cushioned by the ice on every side. There is no wind in here. There is no weather in here. There is only the deep blue hush and the slow old cold, held in this hollow room of ice that the summer up above has never once touched, not in 100 summers, not in 1,000. And the deeper you go, the bluer the light becomes, and the quieter and the colder. A soft, even welcome cold, settling over your face and your shoulders like the coolest and lightest of coverings, drawing the last of the day's heat up and out of you and giving it to the ice, which takes it without changing, without warming, the way deep ice takes everything the world hands it and stays exactly as cool as it has always been. Somewhere far above your head, buried in all that pressed blue ice, there is a single drop of water making its slow way down. It has been traveling for years, this one drop, threading down through the glacier grain by grain, and it moves so slowly you could never follow it, and there is no hurry in it anywhere. You need not follow it. You need only know it is there, moving without hurry through the cold blue dark, the way your breath moves now, slow and slower, with nothing to reach and nowhere to arrive. And you can rest here a while, in the round blue quiet, with the cold of the ice all around you, and the cold of the ice beneath you, and the soft blue light holding you in its still cool glow. Nothing asked of you, nothing needed from you, only the long, slow cool of a place that has forgotten what warmth is, a place that has kept its cold safe and whole through every summer that ever burned itself out on the world above. And when you drift on from the blue cave, the way sleeping thoughts drift, without a step and without a choosing, you find yourself somewhere lower and wider, out where the ice meets the sea, a great pale sheet of it stretching flat to the edge of everything, sea ice under a sky gone deep and soft and dark, and the cold out here has a clean salt edge to it, faint and bracing, carried on the barely moving air off the black water at the ice's rim. The surface beneath you is snow-dusted ice, firm and level, marked here and there with long, low ridges where the great sheet has pressed against itself, and the cold rises up through it evenly, a broad and patient cold with no edges to it, spread wide as the horizon. Far out where the ice gives way to open sea, the water lies dark and slow and heavy with its own deep chill, lifting and falling so gently it barely seems to move at all. A long, slow breathing swell that never breaks, that only rises and sinks beneath its skin of gathering ice. And you can stand out on that wide, pale plain under the enormous dark and feel how small the heat of one body is against so much cold, and feel how easily, how gladly the cold takes it, drawing the warmth up off your skin into the vast, cool dark that has room for all of it and never fills. There is a kindness in that vastness. There is nothing here that needs you to be warm. The cold is not against you. The cold simply is, everywhere and even, and it welcomes the little heat you carry and folds it away into the endless dark. And you are lighter for the giving, cooler for the giving, easier. Above you, the sky has come alive very quietly. A slow wash of pale green light, faint and cold, drifting across the stars and folding on itself the way a curtain stirs in the faintest draught, silent, unhurried, cool as the light off snow. It brightens and it dims, it leans one way and then eases the other, and it makes no sound at all, and it asks nothing of you but that you let your eyes grow soft beneath it. And the light moves, and the cold holds, and your breath goes slow, and the great pale plain of ice lies flat and quiet all around, reaching out past, seeing into the cool of the dark. And you can feel, if you let yourself, how the cold has begun to settle into you now the way frost settles onto still grass overnight. Not sharp, not sudden, but gathering slowly and evenly across every surface, feathering out fine and pale and even until the whole of you is cool and quiet and covered in that soft, settled chill. The warmth that lay heavy in your chest and your belly through all the long hot evening has thinned and lifted and gone up into the great dark, and what is left in its place is cool and still and light, resting easy, needing nothing. There is frost forming now on everything the cold can reach. You can imagine it, slow and lovely, spreading across a windowpane in fine white ferns, branching and branching in the dark, each delicate line laid down without a sound, frost gathering on the tips of pale grasses at the edge of a frozen field, furring them silver. Frost creeping along a fallen branch, along the rim of a still pool, along the smooth grey back of a stone, cool white lace stitched over the sleeping world by the patient cold of the deep night. And nothing hurries it, and nothing stops it. It only spreads fine and even and quiet, cooling all it touches, whitening all it touches, hushing all it touches, while the dark holds still and the stars burn cold and small and far. And you might let your thoughts go the way of that frost now, spreading out thin and slow and even, cooling as they spread, growing quiet at the edges, growing still, losing their sharpness, losing their hurry, feathering out into fine pale nothing at the borders where thinking gives way to sleep. There is no thought you need to keep hold of. There is no thought you need to finish. You can let each one frost over softly and go still, the way the pool goes still beneath its widening skin of ice, the way the grass goes silver and stops its stirring, the way the whole cold field lies down at last beneath the frost and the dark and the small far stars and rests. And past the frozen field, where the land folds down into a long shallow valley, there is an old track worn between two low walls of stone, and it leads you gently downward through the deep blue dark of the winter night, down toward a place where the cold has always pooled and gathered, the way cold air slides always to the lowest ground and lies there, heavy and clear and still. The walls on either side are old, dry-laid stone, furred now with frost, and you can trail your fingers along their cold, rough tops as you drift down the track, feeling the frost crumble faintly cool beneath your touch, feeling the deep chill that lives inside the stone, the same patient chill you felt in the deep heart of the hill, held now in these low, weathered walls that have stood through more winters than anyone remembers. The track goes down, gentle and even, and the cold grows a little deeper with every slow length of it, pooling around your ankles, cool and clear, the way the coldest air of the whole night gathers always in the low and hollow places and settles there to wait for dawn. And at the bottom of the track, there is a hollow ringed round with frosted stone, and in the middle of the hollow there is an old well, a deep round shaft of fitted stone going down and down into the cold dark earth, capped with a worn stone rim gone soft and pale with frost. And you can rest your hands on that cold rim and lean and look down into the dark and feel the slow, cool breath of the deep earth rising up out of it, cooler than the night air, cooler than the frost, the settled, unchanging cold of the ground far below where no summer ever reaches, rising up gentle and even against your face. Far down at the bottom of that well, the water lies black and still and very cold, and now and then a single slow drop falls from the stone lips somewhere in the dark and touches that black surface with a small round sound, a low soft note that rings once against the stone walls of the shaft and fades. And then, after a long while, another. Each one falling out of the dark and touching the still cold water and ringing soft and fading, patient as the drop in the blue ice, patient as the creek far out across the frozen lake, marking the deep, slow time of the sleeping night with no hurry in it anywhere. And you can lean on the cold stone rim and listen to that slow, far dripping rise up out of the dark, and let each small round note come and let it go, come and go, the way your breath comes and goes now, slow and soft, and even, each one a little slower than the last, each one sinking a little deeper into the cool and the quiet and the dark. The cold breath of the well rises against your face. The frost lies pale on the old stone all around. The stars turn slow and cold above the frozen hollow, and there is nowhere you need to be and nothing you need to do, and the heat of the long day is a small and distant thing now, gone up into the great dark with everything else you have set down, leaving you cool and light and easy, resting here in the lowest and stillest and coldest hollow of the whole sleeping land. And the cold goes on gathering, gentle and even, the way it gathers all through the deepest hours, slipping down off the high frosted peaks, sliding slow along the frozen tracks, pooling in the hollows, settling over the still fields, deepening in the wells and the caves and the deep black water, laying its clean, cool weight over everything the night can reach. and you are one of the things the night can reach. And the cold comes to you the way it comes to the stone and the grass and the still dark water, without hurry, without asking, only settling softly over you and into you, and drawing the last warmth gently up and away, leaving you cooler and stiller and quieter and closer to sleep. You need do nothing to help it. You need only lie still, the way the frozen field lies still, and let the cold do its slow, patient work, the way it has done through every long night since the first night, cooling and quieting and covering and hushing, spreading fine and pale, and even over the sleeping world, and over you until there is no edge left anywhere between you and the cool, still dark. And somewhere far above the hollow and the well, high in the cold, clean black, the stars wheel slow and silent through the deep of the night, cold, small fires burning in the dark. So far away their light has been falling toward you longer than the ice has held its blue, and it falls on you now soft and cold and silver, and asks nothing, and you receive it the way the frost receives it, without stirring, without waking, cool and still, and at peace beneath the enormous, quiet turning of the sky. The drip falls in the well, far down in the dark. The frost spreads fine across the stone. The green light stirs and fades over the distant ice, and the cold settles deeper and deeper, and the night holds you in its cool, dark hands, and there is nothing left to do but rest and cool and sink, slow and soft, and even down toward the deep, still bottom of sleep, where the cold simply is and holds and rests. And where you may rest now too, cool and quiet and covered, in the long, deep hush of the cold, while the night goes patiently on and asks nothing of you at all. And the low walls run away into the dark on either side of the hollow, furred pale with frost, and the track behind you climbs slow back up toward the frozen field and the wide pale plain and the blue cave in the hill, all of it lying still and cold beneath the stars, all of it quiet, all of it at rest, and you among it, resting too, cool and light and easy, your breath the softest slow thread of mist rising into the dark and thinning to nothing again and again and again. Each one slower, each one softer, each one sinking you a little deeper into the cool and the quiet and the still. There is a stillness now that has spread over everything, the deep, even stillness of the coldest hour, when the frost has laid itself over the whole of the land, and the air itself seems to have gone quiet and clear and cold as glass, and nothing moves, and nothing hurries, and the only sounds are the slow, far, patient sounds of the cold settling deeper into itself, the soft creak of ice, the small round drip in the dark, the barely there hush of fine frost spreading over stone. Small, quiet sounds that only make the vast, cool silence around them seem the deeper and the softer and the more complete. And you can let yourself belong to that stillness now wholly, the way the stone belongs to it, and the frozen field, and the black still water at the bottom of the well. There is nothing in you that the cold cannot soothe. There is no heat left in you now that the great dark cannot take and fold away. You are cool, and you are covered, and you are quiet, and you are held in the lowest still hollow of the long cold night, beneath the slow cold wheeling of the stars. And the cold breath rises gentle from the deep, and the frost lies pale and even over all, and your breath goes slow and slower, soft and cool and even, rising and thinning and gone, and the night holds still all around you, cool and dark and endlessly patient, asking nothing, needing nothing, only keeping its long, deep hush over the sleeping frozen land, and over the hollow, and over the well, and over you. And somewhere far off, beyond the edge of the frozen field, the land begins to fall away toward the sea, and you may let your mind drift out that way now, slow and untroubled, following the long, cold slope of it down through the dark, past the last low walls, past the last pale reach of the frost, until the ground gives way to a shore of round, dark stones, and the great cold water lies ahead of you, still and black and wide beneath the stars. There is no wind here. The sea has gone almost entirely still, the way water goes still only in the deepest cold, when the small waves have lost their hurry, and the whole vast surface breathes so slowly you can barely tell it moves at all. And along the shoreline, where the water meets the stones, a thin skin of ice has begun to form, delicate and clear, a lacework of frost reaching out from the land over the black water, holding the first fine crystals of the freezing sea. And the faint, small sound of it, that soft, glassy tick and settle as the ice knits itself together in the cold, is the only sound along the whole dark curve of the coast. You can feel the cold coming off that water, a broad, even patient cold, rising from the great dark body of the sea and moving over the stones and over you, clean and salt and deep. It is not a sharp cold. It is a wide cold, an old cold, the cold of something so vast and so deep that its chill has no edges at all, only depth, only slow, endless depth going down and down beneath the still black surface into water colder and darker and quieter the further it falls. And you can let yourself sink toward that gently, the way the cold sinks, down past the thin ice at the surface, down past the last dim silver where the starlight fades, down into the deep still dark of the water where nothing hurries and nothing stirs and the cold simply holds, even and unbroken, through all the long fathoms of the dark. A cold that has been there always, that will be there always, patient beyond any counting, holding its deep even chill far below the reach of any warmth. And you drifting down into it soft and weightless and unafraid, cooler with every slow fathom, quieter, stiller, further from the heat of the day than you have been in a long, long while. The dark grows softer the deeper you go. The pressure of the cold water folds gently around you, close and even on every side, holding you the way still water holds a stone it has taken years to bring to rest on the sea floor. And there far down, the cold is perfect and unbroken, a smooth cold sand beneath you, a slow cold current moving over you, nothing above but fathom upon fathom of dark still water, and nothing to do and nowhere to be, and no heat anywhere that can reach you now. And your breath goes slow and slower, cool and even in the deep. You may rest there as long as you like. The cold will keep you, the dark will hold you. There is nothing down here that asks anything of you at all. And when the current turns, unhurried, and lifts you gentle back toward the surface, you rise the way a slow bubble rises through cold water, without effort, without weight, up through the softening dark, up toward the thin pale glow where the ice waits clear and still. And you break the surface as softly as breath, and the wide dark shore lies quiet all around, and the frost lace along the stones has spread a little further while you were below, fine and white and patient in the cold. And you turn now, slow and easy, away from the sea and back toward the land, and the shore gives way behind you, and the ground begins to climb again, and ahead in the starlight, the dark shapes of trees stand waiting, a great still forest of them rising up the long cold slope, their branches heavy and silent under a deep fall of snow. You may walk in among them now slowly, over snow so cold and so dry that it does not so much crunch as whisper beneath you, a soft small squeak and settle with every unhurried step, and then silence again, the enormous cushioned silence of a forest deep in winter, where the snow lies thick on every branch and every bough and drinks up every sound, so that the whole vast wood has gone as quiet as the inside of a held breath. The trees rise all around you, dark and tall and still, their trunks cold and rough beneath the snow, their high branches bowed low under great soft pillows of white, and the air between them is utterly clean, utterly cold, so cold and so clean that it seems to have no smell at all, but the faint high sweetness of snow and the resin scent of the frozen pines, cold in the back of the nose, cold at the top of each slow breath, cooling you gently from the inside as you go. And now and then, somewhere off in the dark of the wood, a branch lets go of its weight of snow, a soft, far, muffled fall, a whisper and a hush, and then the deep quiet closes over it again, deeper than before, and the snow drifts down slow between the trees in the starlight, fine and light and endless, each flake falling in its own unhurried time, turning and settling, catching the faint far light for a moment before it comes to rest on the deep white floor of the forest. You can stand a while among the trees and watch it fall. The slow, soundless drift of it, the way it thickens the silence, the way it lays itself gentle over every branch and every stone and every soft mounded shape until the whole world is rounded and white and still. There is no wind to trouble it. It falls straight and slow and even, filling the dark air with its quiet motion, settling on your shoulders, on your hair, cool and weightless and light, and you do not brush it away, you only stand and let it gather, the way the branches let it gather, the way the stones let it gather, patient and cool and unhurried beneath the falling snow. And the cold of the forest moves through you now, slow and complete, a deep still forest cold, dry and clean and old, the cold of a place where the summer never reaches, where the snow lies unbroken from the first fall to the last thaw, where the great quiet trees have stood through 100 cold winters and will stand through 100 more. And you among them now, small and quiet and cool, breathing the clean cold air, watching the slow snow fall, feeling the heat of the long hot day lift off you thread by thread and drift away into the vast cold hush of the wood. There is a clearing ahead, a little further in, where the trees fall back and the snow lies open and smooth and blue in the starlight, unmarked, unbroken, a wide soft field of it glowing faintly in the dark. And at the far side of the clearing, the ground rises to a low bank of snow, and you may go there slowly and let yourself down into it, into a hollow of snow so cold and so soft that it holds you the way a deep drift holds the fallen branch, gently, evenly, on every side. The snow is cold beneath you and cold around you, and it does not chill you now so much as it steadies you. A broad, even cold pressing soft against your back, your shoulders, cradling the weight of you, drawing the last of the day's heat out through your skin and away into the deep, white, patient cold of the drift. And above you, the sky is enormous and black, and scattered with more stars than the heat of any city night could ever show, cold and bright and unhurried, wheeling their slow way over the frozen tops of the trees. And you lie there in the snow, cool and covered and still, and watch the flakes come down out of the dark toward you, slow and soft and silver, and you let them fall on you and gather on you and cover you gentle, and there is nothing left to do but breathe the clean, cold air, slow and even, and rest. Somewhere far beneath the snow, beneath the frozen floor of the forest, the deep cold ground holds its long winter stillness, and you can feel it faintly through the drift, that vast patient cold rising from the earth itself, meeting the cold of the snow above, so that you lie held between them, cool through and through, quiet through and through, sinking a little deeper into the soft white hollow with every slow breath. And your breath rises gentle into the dark, a thin soft thread of mist, and thins and is gone, and rises again slower, softer, and is gone. The snow falls on, without hurry, without end, filling the clearing, filling the hollow, laying its cool, weightless cover over you fold by fold. And you let it, the way the whole still forest lets it, without stirring, without waking, cool and easy, and at peace beneath the slow falling snow. And you may leave that place now too, when you are ready, and let it fall softly away behind you. The clearing, the trees, the deep white hush of the wood, all of it settling back into the dark, all of it quiet, all of it at rest, going on with its long cold winter, whether you watch it or not. And you find yourself now on a slow cold river, frozen wide and smooth from bank to bank, a long pale ribbon of ice winding away through the dark between low snow-covered shores. And beneath the ice, if you go very still, you can hear the water, the deep, slow, patient water moving on beneath the frozen surface, a soft, dark, endless murmur far below, cold and unhurried, running on toward the sea in the dark. The ice is thick and old and holds you easily. It is clear in places, so clear you could look down through it into the cold, moving dark below, and white in other places where the snow has drifted and frozen and drifted again. And it gives off a cold of its own, a hard, clean cold rising straight up off the frozen river, so that the air just above the ice is the coldest air of all, still and sharp and pure. And all along the frozen river, the cold has done its slow, quiet work through the long night. The reeds at the banks sheathed each in a fine, clear sleeve of ice. The low branches that overhang the water hung with long, slow icicles, still and glittering faint in the starlight, each one grown drop by patient drop through the cold hours, each one holding a single point of light at its tip. And now and then, from somewhere out across the ice, that deep, strange singing sound the cold makes in thick river ice, a low, far groan and ring that travels the whole length of the frozen river and fades away slow into the dark, the sound of the ice settling, thickening, drawing tighter into itself in the deepening cold. You need not go anywhere on the river. You may simply rest there, on the cold, smooth ice, beneath the slow, bright stars, with the deep, dark water murmuring on far below you and the cold rising clean and even all around, resting on the frozen skin of the moving water, held safe above the slow, dark current, cool and quiet and still, while the river carries its long, cold song on toward the sea without you. And the cold settles deeper, and the ice sings low and far in the dark, and your breath goes slow and slower still, soft and cool and even, rising and thinning and gone. There is so much cold in this long night, and all of it gentle, all of it patient, all of it laid out for you to sink into as slow and as deep as you please. The cold of the frozen sea, and the cold of the deep still water beneath the ice, and the cold of the snow-heavy forest, and the cold of the drift that holds you soft, and the cold of the frost spreading fine over stone, and the cold of the river singing low in the dark. One long, unbroken cold, wide and deep and endlessly kind, folding around you on every side, drawing the last of the heat away, laying its cool covering over you fold by fold by fold. And you have nothing to hold, and you have nothing to carry, and you have nowhere at all that you need to go. The night is doing all of it for you now. The cold is doing all of it. It rises from the deep water and falls from the dark sky and spreads over the frozen land and lays itself gentle over you and asks nothing back, needs nothing back, only keeps its long, slow, patient hush over everything that lies still beneath it. And you lie still beneath it too, cool and covered and quiet, letting it take the weight, letting it take the heat, letting it hold you the way it holds the ice and the snow and the deep, dark, motionless water. And far above, the slow stars turn, and far below, the deep water moves, and all between lies frozen and pale and still in the long, cold reach of the night. And your breath goes slow, and the cold holds soft, and there is nothing left to do, nothing at all, but rest here in the deep, cool quiet, and sink, slow and easy and even, a little further down into the long, dark hush of the cold, where the heat cannot follow, where nothing hurries, where the night goes patiently on and asks nothing of you at all. The frost spreads fine over the reeds, the icicles hang still and clear, the snow lies deep and soft and blue in the starlight over the whole sleeping land, and you among it, cool and light and easy, your slow breath a thin soft thread of mist rising into the dark and thinning to nothing, again and again, each one softer than the last, each one sinking you deeper into the cool and the quiet and the still. And the deep water murmurs on far below, and the ice sings low and far in the cold, and the night holds you gentle in its long, dark, patient hands, cool and covered and quiet, and lets you rest. And the cold stays with you now, the way it stayed with the snow all through the long dark, patient, even asking nothing. You do not have to reach for it, you do not have to hold it. It is simply here, all around you, laid soft over the whole still land, and over you, cool and covered and quiet, resting where you rest. The heat that pressed at you a while ago, the warm pillow, the heavy air, the long, restless turning of the night, all of it further away now, smaller now, drifting off somewhere behind you like a room you have already left. And the cold has come in to take its place. Clean, wide, kind, settling over your skin the way frost settles over the reeds without a sound, without a hurry, only laying itself down, fine and pale and slow, over everything that lies still beneath the sky. And you lie still beneath it too. There is nothing to follow anymore, no stream to walk beside, no lake to sink through, no stairs down into the cool of the cellar. All of those places have quietly become one place now, one long, cool, patient dark, one soft blue hush of snow and stone and deep still water, folded all together into the single wide cold that holds you. And it holds you gently. Somewhere far off, the deep water is still moving under the ice, slow, dark, unhurried, carrying its long cold song on toward the sea without you, needing nothing of you, only murmuring low beneath the frozen surface while you rest above it, light and easy and warmless and calm. And somewhere far above, the slow stars are still turning, clear and cold and small in the black, wheeling on through the long night over the sleeping snow, over the frozen reeds, over the still pale land, over you, turning slow and slower, while your breath goes soft and softer, rising thin into the dark and thinning away to nothing. Let it thin away. You do not have to keep it. You do not have to count it. It rises on its own, a small soft thread of mist into the cold, and it fades on its own, and the next one comes on its own, slower than the last, cooler than the last, quieter than the last. Nothing to do, nothing to hold, only the cold and the quiet and the deep, slow, easy sinking down. Down past the warm places, down past the turning and the reaching, down past the long, hot hours that kept you waking, down into the cool blue still where the heat cannot follow you, where nothing hurries you, where the night simply goes on, patient and dark and kind, and asks nothing of you at all. The snow lies deep and soft over everything. The ice holds still and clear. The frost spreads fine and pale across the stone. And the cold lays itself over you, fold by fold by fold, light as falling snow, quiet as deep water, even as the long dark reach of the winter night. And your breath goes slow, and the cold holds soft, and there is nothing left, nothing at all, but to rest here, cool and covered and quiet, and let the night carry you the rest of the way down. Let it carry you. You have done enough, you have carried enough, you have lain awake long enough in the heat, and now the cold has come, and it is doing all of it for you, drawing the warmth away from your skin, drawing the weight down out of your limbs, drawing the long day quietly to its close, while you do nothing, only lie still beneath it and let it hold you. The stream is somewhere far behind you now, running cold over its smooth, pale stones in the dark. The lake is somewhere far below you now, deep and black and still, the cold growing gentler and gentler the further down the light lets go. The snowfield lies somewhere out under the moon, wide and blue and silent, the air above it clean and sharp and sweet. And the cellar waits somewhere beneath the old house, its stone cool to the palm, its air unmoved and quiet, cold as it has been for 100 slow years. All of them here, all of them holding you at once, all of them folded into the one soft cold that lies over you now. And you sink a little deeper into it, a little slower, a little further down. The deep water murmurs on, far below, low and dark and even. The ice sings low and far in the cold. The stars turn slow above the snow. and your breath goes thin and soft and slow. There is so much cold in this long night, and all of it gentle, all of it patient, all of it laid out for you to sink into, as slow and as deep as you please. No edge to it, no end to it, only the wide, cool dark going on and on, kind in every direction, holding the snow and the stone and the deep still water, and holding you, cool and light and easy, exactly where you are. Rest here, sink here. Let the cold take the last of the heat. Let the night take the last of the weight. Let your breath go slow, and slower and softer and slower still. The frost spreads fine over the reeds. The snow lies deep and blue. The water moves slow and dark beneath the ice. And the cold holds you gentle. And there is nothing to do, nothing to carry, nowhere to go. Only here, cool and quiet and still, in the long, dark, patient hush of the cold, sinking softly down, a little further, a little slower, a little deeper into the deep, cool quiet where the heat cannot follow. The night is doing all of it now. The cold is doing all of it now. You only rest. You only sink. You only let it hold you. And it holds you. Soft and even and kind. Far below, the deep water moves. Far above, the slow stars turn. And all between lies frozen and pale and still, and you among it, cool and covered and quiet. Your breath a thin, soft thread of mist, rising into the dark and thinning and gone. Again and again, each one softer than the last. The snow lies deep. The ice holds still. The frost spreads fine and pale over the sleeping land. And the cold lays itself gentle over you, fold by fold, soft and slow and quiet. Nothing to hold, nothing to do. Only the cold, only the quiet, only the deep, slow, easy sinking down. Down into the cool, down into the still, down into the long, dark hush where nothing hurries and nothing waits, and the night goes patiently on. The deep water murmurs, low and far. The ice sings soft in the cold. And your breath goes slow, and slower, and soft. The stars turn. The snow lies still. The cold holds you gentle. Rest now. Sink now. Let it hold you. The frost over the reeds, the snow over the land, the deep still water under the ice, and you among it, cool and light and easy. Breath thinning, thinning, gone, and come again, slower, softer. The cold folds close, the night holds soft. There is nothing left to do, nothing at all. Only rest, only cool, only quiet, only the deep, slow sinking down into the long, dark hush of the cold, where the heat cannot follow, where nothing hurries, where the night goes gently on and asks nothing of you at all. The snow lies deep and blue. The stars turn slow and small. The water moves dark and even far below. And the cold holds you. Soft, kind, still. Your breath a thread of mist, rising, thinning, gone. The ice sings low. The frost spreads fine. The night goes on. And you sink. slow and soft and deep. Rest here, in the cool, in the quiet, in the long dark hush of the cold. The snow, the ice, the still deep water, and you among it, cool and covered and quiet, sinking softly down. Breath slow, cold soft, nothing to do. Far below, the water moves. Far above, the stars turn. And all between lies still. And you lie still. Cool, covered, quiet. The cold holds you gentle. The night holds you soft. And there is nothing left, nothing at all, but to rest and sink and let it carry you the rest of the way down. Let it carry you down past the heat, down past the weight, down into the cool blue still. The snow lies deep. The ice holds clear. The frost spreads pale over the sleeping land. And your breath goes slow and soft and thin. And the cold folds close. And the night holds on. Rest, sink, cool, quiet, still. The deep water murmurs low and far. The ice sings soft. The stars turn slow. And you drift, cool and light and easy, down into the long, dark, patient hush. A little further, a little slower, a little deeper. Nothing to hold. Nothing to carry, nowhere to go, only here, only cool, only quiet, only the deep slow sinking down, the snow, the ice, the still dark water, the frost over the reeds, the stars over the snow, and the cold, soft and even and kind, laid gentle over you, fold by fold by fold. Your breath thinning to mist, rising into the dark, and gone, and come again slower, and gone. Rest now. The cold holds you. The night holds you. Soft, and quiet, and still. Sink now, into the cool, into the deep, into the long dark hush where the heat cannot follow. The water moves far below. The stars turn far above. The snow lies still all around. And you among it, cool and quiet, sinking softly down. Slower, softer, deeper. The frost spreads fine. The ice holds clear. The snow lies deep and blue. And the cold lays itself gentle over you. Nothing to do. Nothing at all. Only rest. Only cool. Only quiet. Your breath slow. Your breath soft. Your breath thin and thinner, rising into the dark and fading to nothing. The cold folds close. The night goes on, and you sink, slow and soft and deep. Rest in the cool, in the still, in the long dark hush of the cold. The snow, the ice, the deep still water, and you among it, cool and covered and quiet. The cold holds you gentle. The night holds you soft. And there is nothing left to do. Only rest. Only sink. Only drift, slow and easy, into the deep cool quiet. The water murmurs low and far. The stars turn slow and small. The snow lies deep and blue and still. And your breath goes slow. And the cold holds soft. And the night carries you down. Down, softer now. Down, slower now. Into the cool. Into the still. Into the deep, dark hush of the cold. Rest, sink, cool, quiet, still. The snow lies deep. The ice holds clear. The water moves slow and dark, far below. And you drift, light and easy, cool and quiet, down into the long, dark, patient night, where nothing hurries, where nothing waits, where the cold holds you gentle and asks nothing at all. The frost over the reeds, the stars over the snow, the deep still water under the ice, and your breath a thin soft thread of mist, rising, thinning, gone. Rest here. The cold is kind. The night is long. And you sink, slow and soft, into the deep cool quiet. Snow, ice, still water, cool, covered, quiet. The cold holds you. The night holds you. Rest now. Sink now. Slower. Softer. Down. The water moves far below. The stars turn far above. The snow lies still. And you lie still. Cool. And quiet. And soft. Your breath thinning to nothing. The cold folding close. The night going gently on. Rest. Cool. Quiet. Still. Down into the deep cool hush. Down into the long dark night. Down where the heat cannot follow. The snow lies deep and blue. The ice sings low and far. The water murmurs slow and dark. And the cold holds you gentle, soft, and even and kind. Nothing to do. Nothing to hold. Only rest. Only sink. Only drift, cool and light and easy, down into the still. Slower. Softer. Deeper. The frost spreads fine and pale. The snow lies deep and soft. The stars turn slow above the sleeping land. And your breath goes slow. And the cold holds soft. And there is nothing left, nothing at all, but the cool and the quiet and the deep dark hush of the night. Rest. Sink. Cool. Still. The snow. The ice. The water far below. The stars far above. And you among it, cool and covered and quiet, sinking softly, slowly down. The cold holds you gentle. The night holds you soft and lets you rest. Breath slow. Breath soft, breath thin and gone. Snow, cold, quiet, still. Rest now, sink now, down into the cool, down into the deep, down into the long dark hush where the night goes patiently on and asks nothing of you at all. The water moves. The stars turn. The snow lies still. And you rest. Cool. Covered. Quiet. The cold holds soft. The night holds slow. And your breath goes thin and thinner and away. Rest, cool, still. The snow lies deep. The night goes on, and the cold holds you gentle and lets you sink, slow and soft and easy, all the way down into the quiet dark, where nothing hurries, where nothing waits, where you rest and rest and rest. A snow, a stillness, cold, quiet. The night holds you and lets you go. Rest now, sink now, slow, soft, still.